Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Nurse Devin D. So before we get started, I want to say thank you all for watching this video. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button so we can get our subscribes up, and hit the like button. It'll really help us out. And today's video is going to be about some tips for landing your first nursing job. Yes, honey, here it is, okay? So, getting your first nursing job, like, I'm just gonna be really honest. With the climate of the country, the pandemic, and everything going on, I found that it was not as easy as I thought it was going to be. So I, thought in my head, oh, I'm gonna be a nurse. There's a nursing shortage. Like, I'm gonna get this job like lickety split. That was not the case, okay? Of course, I found a job now, but I just wanted to tell you, like, it's not going to be as easy, or it wasn't for me as I thought it was going to be initially. So I just got a few tips to help you, land your first nursing job. So first things first, you have to decide what route you want to take. For me specifically, I knew that I wanted to be in the critical care setting. I have some personal goals that I need to work toward, and in order to do that, I have to be a critical care nurse for a certain amount of time. So I knew that that was what I wanted to do. I had like tunnel vision on that. So that probably caused me not to get as many, calls back or whatever as quickly, because I was being so selective about what I even applied to. So I was interested in the ICU, and so I applied to literally all the ICUs in my area. I didn't really care about a hospital or a system in general, but I did want ICU, so I was very specific. So whatever it is that you're looking for, apply to all of them in the area. If you're able to move, maybe you can even move to get yourself a better opportunity. Here where I live, you have to pretty much go through a nursing residency, and I'll post another video about that shortly, because every job offer or every job description said that you needed to have at least 1 to 3 years of experience in the ICU, or must have completed an RN residency. So I had to find myself a critical care ICU residency. So onwards to submitting all my applications. As far as your application, you want to make sure you stand out as much as you can amongst all the other applications that are going to be coming in. So if you could maybe work in the field that you're trying to get hired in. I didn't do that, but I'm just saying I know that does help you out. Maybe get some additional certifications. Like, I went ahead and got BLS, ACLS, and PAL certified, like right out of the gate, to try to help myself. And then I had some really good recommendation letters that were written for me by my clinical instructors. Find somebody that can really vouch for you and vouch for your skills and like really sell you up. Secondly, apply on time, and sometimes you have to write an essay, so go ahead and write that out ahead of time so you're not rushing to do that whenever it's time to make a submission. Okay, so now we've submitted our applications, and I waited, and like I was like, dang, I'm not really hearing nothing. Like, but I wasn't really like that worried about it, because I was still working my other job, PRN, but I was still working it, so I wasn't too worried about it. But like after a few weeks started to roll by, I was like, what am I doing wrong? So I finally got a call for an interview or whatever, and I interviewed, and I felt really good about it, but I didn't get that job. And then I interviewed for another hospital system 3 or 4 times, and I didn't get that job. Now, mind you, in my career that I was leaving, which was the corporate world, I worked in human resources. I never had a problem landing jobs. Like, I was a really good interviewer, like, not to toot my own horn or anything, but but I was finding myself, I was not being successful in these nursing interviews, and I had to realize that there are 2 different interview styles. There's multiple interview styles, and I couldn't use what I was doing for my corporate job as a new nurse interviewing. So here's what I did that turned my job search around. As a new grad nurse, the interview panel or person or whomever is talking to you, they're going to ask you a handful of questions, and they tend to all kind of be the same kind of questions. One of their favorite ones to ask you is like, what is your 5-year plan? And you want to be like, even if you're aspiring to do something greater, and it's just a step you have to take to do that, you don't want to say that. Like, you don't want to say that, because they're going to be like, next. They're not going to let you waste their time. They're investing a lot of money in training you as a new nurse, and so they want to make sure they get a return on that investment. So you want to say something like, I'm going to go back to school to get my master's. I also want to become CCRN certified, as well as I want to take on a leadership role on the unit, either as a charge nurse or as a preceptor. That is a very good way to answer that question. It makes them feel like, okay, she's going to stick around while you're showing them that you're still trying to grow in the nursing profession. Another question I like to ask you is, you've got, how would you handle, 3 or 4 different things happening to you all at one time in a fast-paced environment? And that's a question where they want to see if you are going to be able to prioritize what you need to do, and if you can delegate tasks out to other people. As a nurse, you cannot do everything by yourself. You are responsible for the care of everything that you delegate, but you have to know how to help use your resources and have other people to help you. Another question that I kept getting asked was, tell me about a time when you had a conflict with a supervisor or another coworker or something like that. And that is a question that is addressing your communication ability. So you want to just say, I would just ask the person, have I done something to you? Address them first. Also recognize that people are going through different things, and not to be so sensitive and take everything personally, because it could just be that they're having a bad day. So you want to just kind of address it like that. If you've never had one, it's okay to say you've never had a conflict, but also offer how you would handle that particular situation. And finally, I had a couple of different interviews. Like, I know we went to one face-to-face interview, so interviewing via FaceTime or Zoom or whatever was new to me. So I was like, okay, I gotta get dressed up to go sit on the couch or whatever. But it's very important. These people have never seen you other than on paper, so you want to make sure you put your best face forward. You want to make sure you look your best. You want to look clean. You don't want to have distracting makeup or a lot of jewelry or a lot of patterns going on. You want to look like a solid colored dress or a top or a blazer or something like that. You want to pull your hair back so it's not in the way and you're not fidgeting with it. You just want a clean, professional, well put together look. Also, if you happen to go on site, like I actually went to go on site and had a FaceTime interview in the same day. So I ended up going on site later on that afternoon, and the thing that I think will put you over the top if you're neck and neck with another candidate, I feel like putting together an application packet with your resume, your cover letter, any letters of recommendation that you may have, put those together in a packet and bring 3 or 4 copies in case there's multiple people interviewing you. And then I also attached a handwritten thank you note to my hiring manager just to seal the deal. So you want to be very confident. Even though you may not know anything about nursing right now, you want to talk to or speak to your previous jobs, customer service skills, communication skills, working autonomously. All of those qualities are going to help you seal the deal, and those are reasons why you should say they should hire you when they ask you that question. Let's see what else. I think that's pretty much all the things that happened to me during my job search. And just be patient. Don't beat yourself up. This is a different time right now for finding work, but those tips that I just gave you were what changed the game for me. Initially I was kind of struggling, and once I changed my approach, I got a job no problem. So, and I'm not saying that to boast or anything. I'm just saying you have to change your thinking sometimes. So if you guys have any questions or want any more tips or anything like that, please leave it down in the comments. I'll be more than happy to address them with you. And I will be back with more videos to share my journey as a new grad in the ICU with you guys very soon. Thank you all for watching, and have a great day.